You probably heard somebody talk about emulation before on YouTube, TikTok, or some kind of social media platform, especially with the rise of all these handheld emulators and things like Nintendo Switch Online, but maybe you don't know exactly what emulation is. So emulation is always tied to typically retro video games. It means you're just emulating an older console, essentially, in the simplest terms as possible. Now, you may be wondering, why emulate? Well, for one, it's convenient. So, for example, with a game like Star Wars Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64, I would pretty much have to take down that console, plug it into a TV that's older, a tube TV, or get a converter and hook it up to an HDMI display. Now, that's not really that big of an issue, but if you have multiple consoles and you play multiple games, it can get very inconvenient very quickly. A lot of people don't even own these games, and that's why they go to emulation. Now, there's a moral gray area on like what you should emulate. You shouldn't emulate anything that is basically for sale on the market right now, because it hurts the company and it hurts, the developers and things like that. There's always going to be people who are going to say, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. For example, like right now with Nintendo, they are doing a lot of balls. And I don't blame people, because a lot of it I agree with. So that being said, though, it's not like I'm going to stop playing video games over it, so whatever. Instead of doing all that, we could do this. So as you can see, emulation is very cool and it's fun, and that's why people do it. You can play just about anything you want for the most part. It gets tricky the higher you get, and like you do have to mess with a lot of stuff. So that being said, I know what you're wondering, because this is what got me into emulation. The exact scenario. And that is, I wanted to play Pokemon. On my cell phone at that. But what if we could play it on a bigger display? Would it make the experience better? And you already know the answer to the question. I don't know why I'm even narrating it this way, but here we go.